Hello and welcome back to another episode with Lisa and Desi for our podcast. We are so excited because this episode is going to be all about celebrating non-traditional milestones.
Woohoo!
And before we get into it, we have to celebrate for ourselves that this podcast, we already are launching 10 episodes. Big
Yay!
milestone. Woo woo. And also, we're in multiple countries. So shout out to the countries of Africa, Brazil, Canada, India, Egypt, UK, and all of course, the towns and our supporters in the US as well. We just thank you guys so much because we're over 100 downloads already. Insane. And we're like, launched a month ago, pretty much. So insane. So thank you
Yeah.
guys so much. We are so excited and we're so grateful that you guys are tuning in every week and that we are just being able to spread the message. That's literally was our prayer basically before we got on this is that we just want people to hear our message. We want God, universe, source to speak through us. So we
Mm.
hope that every episode is really fulfilling you and inspiring you in whatever capacity. So thank you guys so much for being here because we wouldn't stay here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you.
Amen. Yeah, we were really going through the back end right now, and we realized we actually have over 150 downloads. We thought we were just trying to break 100, but actually we have over 150 downloads, which feels so exciting. And the fact
Yes.
that our message is now getting to multiple countries around the world, all throughout the states here in the US, how amazing is that? And I'm just feeling so grateful and so
Yeah.
thankful that you guys are tuning in and enjoying us. And we really wanted to bring this episode to you because society has told us that we could only celebrate like these really big things that society, quote unquote, deems
Yeah.
as good, right? Or as worthy of celebration, like the graduation, right? If you graduate high school or graduate college, we can celebrate that. Of course, we got the engagements and the weddings, and those are all such fun celebrations. Buying a house is another one. When we buy a house, that's a big celebration. Promotions or career advancements. These are all very good things to be celebrating, having children as well. But there's so many things that get overlooked, and we really want to drive home how even the little things need to be celebrated. All of
Yep.
the things should be celebrated because when we get into that energy and that frequency, more of that gets to come through. So, what gets overlooked is healing through the difficult seasons,
Hmm.
right? Having really hard things that we're working through. Maybe it's a divorce, maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's changing careers, anything that's been really hard for us. And we kind of just like, oh, I just got through it. Like, I just got
Yeah.
through it with the hair of my chinny
So
chin
true.
chin, right? We got through it. But honestly, celebrating, I got through it. I did it. This is
Yeah.
amazing. That was so hard. It was like a death to my ego. I had to work through my shadows. Like, those are things to be celebrating, right? Let's talk about setting a boundary for the first time. There's so many of my
Mhm.
clients that I work with where just setting a boundary is like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, like we'll get there. But that's a huge thing to be celebrated. When you're
Yep.
saying no, when you usually say yes. When you're telling a person, no, I will not tolerate that behavior, setting those boundaries are so important and so necessary. And when we do that, they should be celebrated. Another thing that I've already mentioned is like leaving that toxic relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship with a partner that you've been dating. I know I have personally left a few different friendships that were toxic and also toxic relationships. And when we're getting out of those toxic places, it could feel like we don't know who we are. We don't know what to do. We don't know anything at that point because we've been so consumed by that person or and
Yep.
that situation. But like celebrate that. Celebrate learning to trust yourself, trusting yourself to leave the relationship, trusting yourself to set the boundary, trusting yourself to say no. Those are all little things that you are doing that can and should be celebrated. Another thing too is showing up for yourself consistently. Because I know I've struggled with that for a long time, is just showing up consistently. And when we do those things consistently, it's like, heck yeah, I did it. We can do it. I can do hard things, right? And so, sometimes, in life, the most challenging things happen internally, yet they go completely unrecognizable, right? And so the invitation is to start getting curious on what are some of the things that have happened in your life, big or small, that you can start celebrating. This is one of the things that one of my mentors first really drove home was like celebration is so important. I would
Mhm.
like to quickly celebrate that for Sacred Return, Little Girl, Big XL. I have over 90 women signed up. OMG.
90 women said yes. That
90
is
women said yes to their little girl. Mm,
amazing.
yeah.
Like, so crazy. I
It's
love
a
it.
huge, huge milestone for me. It's a huge milestone for my business. It's a huge milestone for this mission that I'm bringing to the world. This is definitely the biggest event that I've ever put on in my career. And it has brought up so many things to move through and so
Mhm.
many celebrations. Me and my husband tonight are going to go watch a movie. We're going to go to our favorite steakhouse. And we're going to really just
Oh,
celebrate
yes.
all these women that said yes to themselves. So I'm really celebrating that this weekend, along with all the success with our podcast and just really, really grateful.
Yeah. And I can say too, something that a lot of programs that I've been in and we've been in and that you're going to do for a lot of these women as well is that whenever you do join a program or a coach with a coach or something, a lot of times they do remind you first thing, like you just said yes to yourself. Like you need to celebrate that. Like saying yes to yourself when you're investing in something that's going to help you grow and help you get into the direction or towards where you want to go, whatever that desire is such a big thing. And I know for me, and I don't know about Desi, but like I definitely do like estimate that sometimes, right? Like
Mm,
it's like I'll be celebrating, I'll share like something that I started recently that I haven't really said too much, but I'm still excited about. Like it's like these we just downplay too much of
mm,
ourselves. And so that is why I'm going to go into why we struggle to celebrate ourselves. Because if
mm,
you're always focused on the next goal, you really never give yourself permission to enjoy how far you've come.
mm,
And just feeling that for a second, because how many goals do you achieve and you just go on right on to the next one? Or maybe it's something that you kind of gave up on yourself, right? Because you're like, there's no way I'm going to get there. And you
mm,
just don't even try even because then you talk yourself out of it for whatever reason. But again, you want to realize that life is worth living, of course, number one, but when you have something to look forward to and to celebrate, like that makes life so much more juicier.
mm,
So whether it's a birthday, whether it's the graduation, whether it's the finishing school, whether it's investing in a program, whether it's taking a class for your own damn self,
mm,
like celebrating these little things, like you're living life today because you're saying yes to yourself or you're saying yes to whatever feels really good for you. Because again, we have this conditioning around achievement. And I shared this on one of the last episodes that I was totally an achiever. Like I needed to have good grades, I
mm,
needed to perform, I needed to look great, I needed to be like quote unquote perfect, and I was taught that was how I earned the celebration, the love,
mm,
the attention, right? So I'm sure you're also resonating a little bit in some way. We're taught to earn the celebration, but it doesn't have to be a hard-earned thing
mm,
anymore. We get to rewire this through this conversation and awareness as well. So again, productivity is often valued more than personal growth. How many times, and this, I'm a Virgo rising, and Virgos feel like they never get enough done, and they're
mm,
such perfectionists and judge themselves the most. And whenever you have that free time in your schedule, you're like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. And if you do st scroll, if you do X, Y, and Z, you're like, why did I do that? Because I could have been like you don't feel enough because you didn't do enough basically in that moment.
mm,
Instead of just relaxing, enjoying the moment, being present, it is so hard to get out of the productivity the learning that
mm,
we were conditioned in. So allow yourself to switch that and shift it just a little bit at a time. And the other part is when you do start to rewire or when you do notice like, oh, did I ever like celebrate the fact that I got a promotion at work? Did I
mm,
ever celebrate that I left that relationship? Did I ever celebrate that I, did really well and I stuck with my meal plan and my exercise plan, like, and I feel
mm.
really good about myself this week? And
Yeah.
instead of celebrating and doing a cheat meal, instead of doing, the
Mm,
drinks and basically spiraling yourself back down or back to square one, you still kept going, right? Allowing yourself to realize that I get to be present in this moment. I get to enjoy fully the moment right now instead of being like, nope, next one. Like, thanks and next, you know? So the other part of this is because, again, we get into this conditioning of seeing everybody else and what they're achieving, right? Like keeping up with the Joneses. What are they
Mm,
doing over there? Or especially social media, unfortunately, is such a comparison, like, and
trap.
thief for, yeah, it's trap, exactly. It's a thief of our own mindset and our own lives because we get caught up in the comparing of ourselves to others, whether it's a new outfit we need, whether it's, they posted so much about their party and their party looked great. And like, I need to be at that level for a party for the next one,
Mm,
right? Like, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect. You don't have to minimize your progress because moving the needle forward every day and just choosing one, putting one step, putting one foot in front of the other and just taking one step forward is really the biggest reason why we need to remind ourselves that celebrating ourselves every little milestone and making them little, really little, like every day. Like, did you make your bed today? Like something
mm,
super silly, even, like I feel so good because I took the steps to do myself. And honestly, like another thing too would be for me, I know like when I do my routine in the morning, when I do my meditation, when I do my Kriya, when I do my, little things for myself to fill my own cup up, that's a
mm.
celebration
Yeah.
because I know I'm not going to be reactive later in the day. I feel so good today, even though I woke up early on a Saturday and was getting shit done, like I feel so good because I filled myself up first, right? And then I'm able to do these things. I'm able to show up in a different way from this energy as well. And then the next part of that is because when you're able to fill your cup up, whenever you're able to say yes to yourself, you actually get to receive more of it because your frequency has shifted. Instead of staying in the mindset of, I need to earn this, I need to do more, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and without that, I can't get there, right? We're staying stuck in the same frequency. If you've ever heard of the manifestation or frequency example of a radio station, thinking of your frequency, your energy as if you're on a radio station. So if you're trying to listen to a station that you love that is at 100.2, something like that, right? That frequency, and you expect to tune into that station and you want to hear some kind of music, but your body's not on that same level, or you need to automatically, I'm messing up this example.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, if we're trying to tune into a frequency that isn't matched to what we're desiring, then we're
There we
not
go.
tuning into the frequency of what we want to create. And so when we're tuned into the celebration frequency,
Hmm.
then we can
Hmm.
create more of the celebration frequency. And that's what we would truly
Yes.
want.
Yes. And really what that comes down to is the feeling that you are,
Mm,
right? So if you
yeah.
whenever you think of celebration, it's the joy, it's the bliss, it's the happiness, it's the love. You're expanding instead of contracting into fear, guilt, judgment, anger, sadness, whatever. Those frequencies, those energies are not going to allow you to get there and to receive more. So
Mm,
when you are open and when you are open to receiving, that's manifestation 101. You need to shift your level. You need to shift your energy and tune in a little bit higher, right? Get your gauge a little bit higher. And then that way, when you ask the universe and you ask God, when you ask whatever for something that you're creating or something that you're desiring and trusting that it's coming to you, you're able to receive it because you're already at that frequency of whatever that is. Because when you desire something in manifestation, when you desire the car, desire the house, desire the relationship, you're looking for an energy, you're looking for a feeling behind it.
mm,
If you don't match that feeling, you're going to miss it. And if you're not present enough to notice it or be open to your intuition telling you where to go or taking that intuitive nudge and step, you also can't be open to seeing it or feeling it, or you're going to miss it. And again, you can always readjust,
mm,
but how do you expect the universe, God, whatever you believe in, to give you more if you're not celebrating it,
mm,
right? Like, do you reject gifts,
mm,
or how do you receive gifts, or how do you respond to a gift? Maybe it's a surprise gift or not. Maybe someone gives you a coupon. Maybe someone just treated you to the coffee. How do you respond to that? Oh my God, I need to just pay it forward. Oh my God, like, no, thank you. Oh, that's so nice of you. Like, how do you receive? Do you reject compliments? Do you fully receive that thing? Because you can't expect more if you're turning away all of these compliments, whether it's quote unquote free gift, right? Like whether it's a compliment, whether it's a coupon, whether it's a random check in the mail, like how can you say no to these opportunities and these gifts and expect more? So allowing yourself to receive and allowing yourself to be in this energy is going to be super, super helpful. And again, it's about learning to appreciate who you have already become when you do have these goals and when you do find yourself in this progress. And part of healing is definitely harder because, again, when you are wanting to heal or when you want to get progress and anything like that, you're constantly chasing the next goal. Like it doesn't
Mm,
have to be what's missing, what doesn't have to be the next goal. You want to slow down enough to be open to receive, to be open and enjoy life because again, life is so short. And when you are able to learn to slow down and enjoy it, it takes life to the next level. I did this with my boyfriend last night. We just had really busy weeks and we just sat in the backyard. Of course, do we want more things in our backyard? Absolutely, but we're not focusing on that. We're focusing
right.
on let's just chill here for a moment. We get to hear the birds. We get to it's a beautiful night. It's still a little humid, but it's a beautiful night. We get to just chill at the end of our week and just take some breaths and just talk and just have a really great present time. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. We're just sitting there enjoying talking, whatever. Like allowing yourself to slow down. And again, like I said, it's hard for me to slow down. So this is something that I've learned to slow down and to really see what's actually going on. So pausing, allowing yourself to be present. And the other thing, the best tool that you can use whenever you're feeling like you're out of this frequency of celebrating, start to focus on gratitude.
Mm,
Gratitude for where you are, gratitude for your life, gratitude for food, for water, for friends, for family, for X, Y, and Z, because no matter where you are, no matter what phase, no matter what life, you've probably prayed to get here, right, today, or you're in a little bit of a shift to get to where you're going. So enjoy the life that you are working really hard to create, or really hard to maintain, whether really hard that you prayed for, whatever that is.
mm,
Gratitude is the antidote for anything that is lower frequency and negative, in a way. So it really allows you to shift out of that state and really get into that open receiving, like I said.
yeah, so good. The version of you that survived, healed, and kept going deserves to be celebrated too. So, over this next part, we're going to go over some things that you could be celebrating that I feel would be important for you to celebrate, and an
Hmm.
invitation to start celebrating some of those things. So,
Yes.
the growth of building confidence, right? Your growth is building confidence. Like, how can you celebrate that? Celebrating
Hmm.
the positive changes that are happening in your life, even if it's as little as smallest thing, like you're waking up a little bit earlier, you're making your bed
Yeah.
every day, right? Those little things deserve to be celebrated as well, and then really starting to acknowledge your progress and your momentum. I know as humans we have this innate ability to want more and need more and I got to do more and
Yeah.
keep going and it's not enough and we get the Joneses and we think we need a nicer car and a nicer house and da 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 da,
Hmm.
right? But we're missing the opportunities in the moment. And I remember one of my mentors always saying, the lucky ones pay attention, because if you're
Hmm.
not paying attention, then you're going to make these changes and you're not even going to see it. And then you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I did do that thing and I did do that thing. And actually I had a lot farther than I thought. So really starting to pay attention to all the little things. So some non-traditional milestones is, going to therapy, hiring a
Hmm.
coach, saying yes to a free container, saying
Yeah.
yes to yourself to, heal an old wound, choosing yourself, right? I think a lot of times we can get caught up in spending on investing in ourselves, like spending the extra time maybe to go to therapy or spending the money to hire like a coach, a mentor, maybe a trainer if you're wanting to get in
Yeah.
shape. And we think that we're not worthy of that
Hmm.
money. And I'm telling you right now, that money is going to come back to you tenfold when you
Yep.
show up and you do the thing. More than that, like a hundredfold, right? Like you can never take back healing that you got. You can never
Yeah.
take back like coaching and mentorship. Like that will always be with you, right? So,
Hmm.
choosing yourself is so important and that should be celebrated as well. Speaking your truth. We just had a whole episode on using your voice, speaking your
Yep.
truth, setting the boundaries, celebrating that, learning to receive compliments, learning
Hmm.
to receive the lunch, learning to receive the free thing. Those are all things to be celebrated, breaking generational patterns. So like
Ooh,
when you
yeah.
are going into healing or you are doing the hard things or you're like, I'm not going to mess up my kid the way that my parents did to me. I mean, all those should be celebrated, right? You are
Yeah.
having the ability to know and to make the decision that you're not going to do the same things that were happening to you. And I wanted to bring some emotional milestones to the forefront as well for your celebrations is responding instead of reacting.
Mm.
Responding instead of reacting. I think this is a big one for a lot of us. Most people, we react, and a reaction could also be like fawning. It could be freezing, right? Where we don't say anything, right? But when we decide to either speak up in those moments or say your truth or not overreact in those moments, those are all to be celebrated. You did it. You made a conscious decision not to show up the way that you have been showing up, and you made that change. Asking for help. How many of
Such
us
a good one.
white knuckle life doing it all on our own, not asking for help, not asking for support? I know I personally have been asking my friends as like I'm getting closer into my support group, I should say, my friends, my business partners, like Lisa, all of them saying like, okay, I'm pushing up some really big edges right now, and I just need some extra support. Like I told my husband this week, I was like, I just need you to be extra sweet, extra kind, all the things, because I know that I'm going to be feeling like, oh, like I'm pushing up against these edges, and sometimes it's really uncomfortable, and I don't really love the way that I feel, and it doesn't feel comfortable, but I know that as I push through them, then I'm not going to have to feel those emotions so much. Like I'm going to be able to speak in front of more people. And if I have these big goals and these big audacious vision of my business, like I have to take that next step, right? So asking for the help and then celebrating that. Like I asked for the help,
Yep.
and that's beautiful, right? So those are some of the ways that you can really start, celebrating yourself. A few more, I'm just going to list out some is, choosing to play without guilt, honoring your needs, creating safety within yourself, learning self-compassion, releasing old labels, no longer having to be the strong one, no longer having to be the perfectionism or the people pleaser. Those are all things to celebrate. Trusting yourself more deeply, trusting yourself to set the boundaries, trusting yourself to ask for help, trusting
Hmm.
yourself to respond instead of reaction. Those are all little things that you can be celebrating like daily. Like even if it's a little like I know this creator, his name's Ralph Smart, and he always says, "Do a little samba, baby." And I just think it's so cute and so like, yes, just like do a little dance in your body, like do a little praise to yourself, like thank yourself, like thank you, we did it. Yes, I mean it could be as easy and simple as that. It doesn't have to be like we're going out to dinner and we're doing all
Yeah.
these things. Yes, it should be those sometimes as well, but also
Hmm.
like just little celebrations or just like getting on, voice chat with your girlfriend and being like, "Girl, let me tell you, and like let your friends celebrate with you." I always tell my friends too, like, wait, what happened? Wait, I think that needs a celebration.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Having those friends, that support group that really will support you in these. And if you don't have one, start looking for some.
Yeah,
And because that is definitely a game changer and it heals in way more different ways as well.
yeah,
So, exactly what we're getting into next. So, creating your own celebration rituals. So, rituals, of course, can be big, small, just like Desi said. Like maybe it's a little shimmy shake that you're dancing to your favorite song, or you just need to, like scream and celebrate and just be like, whatever. And or maybe you create this around your family, right? Your kids, your whatever. Like maybe you guys put on a song and just dance it out for a few moments. Ritual really does matter because, again, it's reminding yourself that you're tracking, you're progressing, you're growing in whatever capacity. And it helps your nervous system acknowledge that you did something good and you're in a state of completion. So it's celebrated. And so you get to be in this nervous system state where it's safe to celebrate, where it's safe to keep celebrating, to keep doing things and keep being like, I'm winning at life. I'm doing really great job because
Mm,
how many times do we forget that we're doing a really great job today, right? No matter
mm,
what you're doing, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what you're doing, you're showing up and being human today. That's a freaking great job, you know? And it really does, again, give you that space to receive more growth, to receive
mm,
more opportunities, to receive even recognition, because guess what? Recognition builds your self-worth, builds more compassion, builds more grace for yourself. You know, to be like, "Oh wow, I forgot I am doing a good job. I did do that
mm.
today." How many times have you like heard one of your friends like I'm like I did this to a friend actually. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing like meal prep with my boyfriend and that's something that I'm celebrating because we freaking did a lot of meal prep this week and we're just kind of winging it and like learning a new meal plan and it's a lot of freaking food and it definitely takes a lot of time, but
Yeah.
like I'm so proud because we stuck with it all week. Like I feel really great because I'm like
Mm,
eliminating a lot of processed stuff and less sugar and and I'm down a couple pounds, obviously a great goal, obviously a
hmm.
great outcome. But like how many times do you forget? Like I told my friend, I'm like, yeah, we're like meal prepping is taking a lot of time, da da da. And she's like, wow, that's great. Like you're doing great. Like whatever. Like she just cheered me on. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's not a small like
Mm,
win, right? Like it's like I'm sticking to the goals that I want right now. I just want to feel better in my own body right now, right? I'm just getting a little more activity. I'm making it enjoyable. I'm really enjoying our meals too, actually. Like I don't have to cut out like a ton of food, which is great. I still get
hmm.
to eat a good amount of food. I feel full, I feel fulfilled, and I have energy. So that is something to be celebrated, right?
Yeah.
So rewiring what it means to have this ritual or what celebration means to you. So when you think of celebrating, what does come to mind, right? Of course, I had a really busy month in May, with all the birthdays. So of course we're eating a lot, we're celebrating with cake, we're drinking, all these things. And that's where it kind of was like, okay, enough. My body's like, no, thank you. Need a break. And that's all good, of course, in, small doses and everything and during that time, but allowing yourself to get back to it. But then also, rewiring moving forward. Like this weekend, I have a couple parties and I'm like, I don't want to drink, because I know how it's going to set me back. I feel really good right now. So my thought is like, I don't want to spiral. I don't want to do these things. So I'm going to celebrate after this weekend to be like, no, I said yes to myself instead of saying just letting myself get into the pressure. I'm celebrating my own self because I'm being healthy. I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to what I need, more hydration, all these things, and rewiring just a new meaning for yourself of celebration and creating this new ritual. So maybe it's something like you did with me, like I'm eating and working out, and at the end of the week, what can you do that's a little bit of a celebration? Maybe it's just dancing it out. Maybe it is like indulging in a little bit, a nicer storage container for your food. Maybe
There you
it's
go.
in, right? Like we have to get storage containers. So that's why I was thinking of it. Like we're trying to be really good with the glass, right?
Yeah.
And so we need some more glass ones for for Steve, my boyfriend, because he needs like 4 meals a day.
I think I
I'm like,
got
we're
mine
running
off
out of
a
containers.
TikTok shop.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So, like maybe it's new containers because you're like, oh, I got something new. Or maybe it's a new workout outfit, right? New sports bra, new earrings, new something. It doesn't have to be something
Mm,
to purchase, right? Like allow yourself to be open, be creative, do something really simple. Maybe it's a new water bottle, or
mm,
something that's like going to support your goal, but it also feels really good because something a little bit new. Like,
mm.
most of us women like a little something new. So it be something small. It doesn't have to be a big thing. So other ways that you can create these celebration ideas or rituals, right? Of course, trying to find something with your friends. Like Jesse said, maybe it's voice noting with one of your friends and be like, "Guess what I did this week?" Da da da, and like then they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you." Da da da. Like you want to have that little bit of
Hmm.
community, right, and support in a group, if you can, of course, and if you can't, let us know because we will celebrate you. We definitely love to celebrate. And the other thing, if you're like, I don't know, this is a little of an edge, right, to even share with one of your friends, then allow yourself to write a letter to yourself. Be like, I am so proud of you. Maybe it's your future self. That you're just like, I'm so proud of you for doing X, Y, and Z. You stuck with it. You did amazing. You showed up every single day, and I know how hard it's been, but you freaking did it. Like, I'm so proud of you, and thank you for showing up because now I'm in this other uh part of life, a new chapter. And it's all because you showed up for yourself and you said yes to yourself. You could be also creating a gratitude journal or typing or texting even yourself, or just again, gratitude is such a great thing to do every single day. So maybe it's the end of the day, like I know I read a book and I think I mentioned it on one of the podcasts is that you want to rewire your mind about the whole day. So maybe you did have a really bad day, but what is a moment that within the day that you could say that was a win, that was progress. I did a really great job today. Even though it was a really tough day, I did a really great job today. Just acknowledge it because we tend to focus on the negative. We tend to focus that today was a really shitty day. And instead of being like, you know what, I did have one moment, maybe I really enjoyed my meal, maybe I hit my hydration, whatever that is, you still can deem it as a great day, even though it was like one shitty moment that spiraled a little bit, right? It happens. Maybe you buy yourself flowers. How often do we wait for somebody else to buy us flowers and, and acknowledge us, when we get to acknowledge our own selves. And that is building the trust, building our own self up in that moment. And you could even celebrate by doing these little moments and writing down all the moments and how you're feeling each day. Because then when you look back on it, be like, wow, I had a freaking great week. I had a freaking
Mm.
great month. I had a really great day this week. I forgot I did that. That's when we do our energy renew every year. We always look back on our calendars and our pictures and be like, what actually happened this year? And there's like, literally 10 times out of 10, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that to happen this year. Like I went to two concerts. That's right. Oh my God, what a great year. Like you forget the moments that you had with yourself and with people. So allow yourself to be like, oh yeah, that's right, I did great. Or like looking back at pictures and being like, oh my God, I did like change my style. I did, lose a little weight in my face and I look like I'm happier. Like whatever that is. It could be so many different things. It obviously doesn't have to be material or anything like that, but really celebrating your own journey and your own self, taking yourself on a solo date, special meal, whatever it is. The other thing that I can mention is that we did, I saw a video where it was like this friend group did a cake. And you know how there's these videos where like someone had, you normally it's a cake with celebrations for someone's birthday. And it was a cake and each person came in and put one little like flag kind of like toothpick thing in the cake with their like goal or what they were celebrating. So maybe it was like they finished school or one person said they like lost a little weight because they of the progress, whatever it is, and each person put something in the cake and they were all celebrating together. And I
Mm.
just love that idea because again, it was showing that like not everyone's in the same chapter. Life is life. Everyone is
Mm.
on their own timeline. So
Yeah.
whether it's an emotional win, whether it's a physical win, whether it's just a simple small win of therapy and whatever that is for you, celebrating it because you deserve to be celebrated. You are so worthy of celebration and trust me, we're human too, and we're learning this as well and reminder of this, but this is such a good reminder that it doesn't have to be these big milestones. It can be a small one. Um, and yeah, I just think, as a reminder that my my own personal win that I can share too, besides my meal plan that I was excited to stick with this week, is that I joined another certification. That's all about Kundalini and alchemy and shifting the energy about the chakras and everything. So it's something that I haven't admitted very often because it's like again, it's like not everyone cares, whatever. I'm
Mm.
just downplaying it, right? Instead, I'm like, no, I'm freaking doing this. I had to do 40 days of a practice called morning sauna. It was like getting up at 3:30, 4 in the morning, having to do this 2.5 hours for myself. It was crazy. I can't believe I did it, but I did it.
Good
And
job. Let's
have it right.
go.
I was sharing with Desi. She was cheering me on. She was like, wow, I can't believe you're doing that. Like, it's amazing. I
So
was sharing with
early.
a couple of my yogis, like, and they were like, what do you have to do? Like, are you kidding? Like,
Yeah.
and then of course we had a support group that we were all doing it together. And that's what helped us all stay
Mm.
consistent.
I
We
bet.
all cheered each other on. Of course, we were all going through it in different ways. And like, that is the biggest thing.
Good job. That's awesome. Yeah, I know that that was not an easy task for you, especially waking up that early. And so
No.
proud of you. I definitely saw the shift. I definitely saw the change in you. I
Yeah.
definitely saw like your energy shift and just like
Hmm.
your drive, I think too, like
Yeah.
of like what you want and how you want it and how you want to show up. Like it's definitely been a huge shift for you. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Another a few ideas is to gather a few trusted friends and ask them, like, what are you proud of? What have
Yeah.
you've moved through? What are you releasing and what are you calling in next? And really allow that reflection to be with your friends. So a few reflection questions that you guys can start asking yourself, maybe journal about it. These will be in our show notes as well. What growth have I been overlooking? What have
Mm,
you not been giving yourself credit where you deserve credit? And then
mm,
where am I minimizing my progress? All the little things count because most people are not even doing the little things. Most people aren't
yeah.
even here listening to the podcast or having this inflection or internal reflection of like, what could I be celebrating? Or wait a minute, there is a lot of things I could be celebrating, right? So, where are you minimizing your progress? And then we would love to know if you guys are struggling with your celebrations. Let us know. Send us a DM, email us, come find us on IG and let us know what you might be struggling with. And then we can do a podcast episode. We can do a part two on really anything on any of our episodes. Like if you're feeling like, oh, I really love them to go deeper, like please reach out to
Yeah.
us. We would love to go deeper with you on that.
Yes. We just want to remind you that not every milestone comes with a trophy, a title, or
Mm.
has to be on social media and to share and like act like you're, it's a highlight reel, right? So allow yourself that these milestones get to be a yes to yourself, get to look more like just choosing yourself is the best decision for yourself. It's moving you forward. You're setting a boundary. You're healing a wound. You're trusting your voice. You're showing up again and again and again, even when life is hard.
Mm.
And we are so proud of you and we are celebrating you on the
Yes.
other side of this mic. So we love you. We celebrate you. And again, reach out to us if you have any other questions or you love for us to dive deeper, or if you want us like email or message us and tell us what you are celebrating this week. We would love to
Yes.
hear what you are specifically celebrating. You know what? We will go on our podcast IG and post a story that this day that it releases,
Okay.
and we're going to say, what are you celebrating? So we can celebrate you. We can share it with everybody. It can be
Perfect.
anonymous, and make sure you go to our stories and we will celebrate you.
Yeah, Real Talk, Real Healing podcast on IG. Please leave
Mhm.
us a review. We would so appreciate that. We are still giving away an Akashic Journey and astrology reading for those who are leaving us a review. And we appreciate you being here so much. And we will see you on the next episode.
See you
Bye.
soon.